Hey, what's up, Restore? It's Monday, and as promised, today what I have for you guys is an interview that I did with Phil Beverly. Every Monday I want to have a conversation with somebody from our church just to find out how they're doing, to help us feel all connected to one another. And in Phil's case, I wanted to talk to him a little bit about New Hope, where Phil is the director, and find out ways that we could support his ministry during this time and support some of the work that they're doing in a community that might be a little bit harder hit throughout this crisis. So I talked to Phil. I hope you enjoy the conversation. If you want to have a conversation with me, please let me know, and we will set that up. If this thing goes on long enough, I might have time to have a conversation with everybody in our church. So I'd love to make that happen if possible. Let me know, and I hope you enjoy our conversation.
So what's up? How's life? How's life going these days?
It's been great. Yeah, it's been a little crazy few weeks. Trying to figure out how to work remotely, deal with Jenna's schedule. She's doing remote learning, and Sienna's got her class in the morning every morning. So it's just a big adjustment, a lot of new things very quickly, and we're just trying to manage all the different things that a lot of people are probably dealing with. At home, and trying to work and manage kids, and so it's crazy.
Well, that's part of the reason that we're doing this, I think, just because, or that I wanted to do this, was because of the fact that everybody's kind of going through the same thing, and I think it's helpful for people to remember that. Actually, I was going to tell you, Oprah Winfrey now has a streaming show that she's doing where she's doing exactly what we're doing right here. She's interviewing people. And so I had the idea first, but she's Oprah. Okay. So she's doing this. Her first guest was Idris Elba. So in this scenario, you're Idris
Oprah.
Elba and I'm Oprah.
I like that.
Yeah. So
I feel like I won.
I don't know. Oprah's got like $1 billion. So I feel like I'll be Oprah if I have to be Oprah.
True.
So Sienna's the only one that's in school right now, right?
Yeah. So she's in kindergarten. So she's got her kindergarten meet up like 8:30 to 9 in the morning. So we basically just stick Caleb on an iPad.
Yeah. That's how you get through with the ones that aren't in school. It's just like, here, watch this.
Yeah. So Jenna helps her with her class time, and then basically right after that, Jenna. So like right now, Jenna's finishing up her class time. So at any point, my kids could come down and demand food from me, which is pretty likely. I gave them like a ton of food just for this 15-minute period.
Yeah.
And they'll probably finish it and still come down and ask for more pretty soon. But so Sienna's the only one in class. And then Jenna has her, she's got about a half hour of teaching time every morning from like 9:15, 9:45, basically like 9 to 10.
Yeah.
That she's, on call and doing live instruction.
Right. Yeah. I saw some pictures of like, I don't know who posted it. I think somebody from your life group posted a picture of their daughter, like learning. I think it might have been Katie, but like one of their kids learning while Jenna was on the other end teaching and like singing the same song or something. It's pretty crazy that, for preschool kids, they're picking that up.
Yeah. Yeah. They are no stranger to iPads.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. That's the good thing, right?
Yeah.
How are your kids aware that life is different? Like, how are they? Because your kids you just said Sienna's in kindergarten. And then how old's Caleb?
He'll be 3 in April. So he's almost 3.
Yeah.
So they're aware that things are different to the extent that like the routines are all different. So like Caleb is used to going to, a babysitter every day during the week, for a few hours while Jenna's in school. And so last week, every day he was like, where am I going? Where am I going today? Where am I going today?
Yeah.
And now I think it's sunk in that you're never going anywhere again.
Right.
Probably.
This is it. Yeah. Just deal with it.
Yeah. So, and Sienna's was excited about this idea of, doing class on the iPad and stuff last week. And it's been kind of fun for her. But certainly, like, when we go for a walk outside or we go to a playground, it's like, why can't I play on the playground? Why do I have to just walk on the path or run around? So those are the kinds of things that I think make it, make her understand that things are different. We tell her a little bit about, how there's, sickness, and, try to explain it in a way that the kindergartner can understand, which,
Yeah.
Is, uh, anyway. So, like, she knows to an extent that things are different, but obviously she doesn't understand
She's not sitting down and watching the news with you.
No.
Wondering what's going on.
No. No, she's not.
Yeah.
Although Caleb, on Saturday, I think, was walking in, and I think we were waiting for one of the White House press conferences just to watch. And so then he wanted to watch the president talk after he woke up from his nap.
Oh, yeah.
We told him it was done. So.
Yeah. Yeah. It is interesting, like you said, kind of age appropriate awareness, and, having kids in middle school all the way down to Judah. I think the only thing that Judah knows that he's not doing is going to church. He's like, on Sundays, he's like, why can't I go see my friends? And I'm like, you get to see all the important elements on the TV. There's your dad. Doesn't that make you happy? No, it does not.
Not good enough. Not good enough, Oprah.
Yeah, exactly. Man, it's the worst. So you're working from home. Are you, what does that look like for you? Like, especially with New Hope and what New Hope's dealing with?
Yeah. So it's, last week we started working mostly remotely, about midweek. And we still have somebody going into the building once like one person a day, basically, for a few hours. And essentially it's just so that we can be there to provide food to people who need it. It's, been a pretty radical shift that we've had to make in a week. And a lot of our programs are, all the events are canceled, all the gatherings are canceled. But we're just basically really trying to focus on making sure to be there to provide food, because now with, everything happening in the economy as a result and people getting laid off, it's just going to get more and more difficult for the people in our community, and they're going to have more needs for food. So I am working from home right now, but we have a staff member going in every day, on a rotating basis, basically. And so doing a lot of Zoom calls with the staff and a lot of phone calls and texts and emails to, figure this all out.
What do you think is like the most pressing needs in the community in Prospect Park and Haledon? I mean, that's probably a little bit different than the needs in North Haledon. So what are you seeing?
Yeah. So, I mean,
and what's the level of concern? I guess that's another thing.
Yeah. Well, I think the baseline reality in our community in Haledon and Prospect Park is that before any pandemic, there was already 30% of the community that would basically be eligible for food assistance through like food stamps and other programs. So there's a big chunk of the community that is, but pandemic aside, struggling on a day-to-day. And I think the concern is that there's all of that population plus, quite a bit of people over that threshold who are now feeling even more pressure. Like we saw somebody come into New Hope for the first time in 3 years just this last week. And my concern is that there's going to be a lot of people who have been relatively stable and not coming to New Hope's food pantry for months or even years, and now all of a sudden, one fell swoop, they lost their job, and most of them don't have any savings or very little. So that's my concern, is that all of a sudden they have to start deciding between paying certain bills and paying for groceries. I'm thankful that there's been a lot of um, decisions around stopping evictions and foreclosures and PSC&G shutoffs and water, like all that stuff I think, is good, but I'm not sure that most of our participants, some of our participants may not know that. And so um, it's really an issue where this, food insecurity, so people's inability to really have a stable supply of food is just going to go up. Uh, and so trying to be able to open and operate in a healthy way, in a sanitary way, and making a decision so that, in a month from now, if we're still in the same situation, we're still open and still can help. And at that point, it's probably going to be a lot worse in terms of people's needs.
So how can, like, somebody like me or somebody like someone from Restore help you right now? I mean, what are the pressing needs? I mean, some of it probably goes beyond maybe New Hope's capacity to handle in terms of, like rent and, helping people financially. Obviously, we're all watching the government and hoping they can get their act together with some sort of a stimulus for people in those particular situations. But how can we help in the meantime? I mean, how can we help fund the food or supply the food pantry, stuff like that?
Yeah. So we started just this past weekend, and Restore definitely promoted it. And so we did an online food drive, which we can share links and stuff to. And we set it up with a pretty conservative goal and like a 3-week timeline. And in 3 days, we already hit the goal in terms of people like donate. So you can donate food. It's essentially a platform you can go on, and it's like, you buy a can of, or 3 cans of beans or whatever it is. And at the end of the drive, all that food gets just packaged up and shipped right to us. So that's a really big thing, because most of our food comes just from regular individuals. They'll go to the grocery store, pick up some bags, bring it to church, and then once a week, somebody from the church will bring a bunch of bags down, and none of that's happening now. Can't really ask people to go to the grocery store and bring in food, because we have no idea what they're carrying and what they're bringing into the pantry. So we really have to be careful. And so this has been a good platform, so you can just basically, sit at home and buy food, and it gets shipped to us in a good way. So that's one way. And we hit our goal, but we're probably we have a staff meeting soon, and we will probably figure out whether or not we want to just start a new drive again, or raise the threshold, because we set it kind of low because we really weren't sure how it was going to go. But I'm really excited that people were able to catch on very quickly, because Restore and a couple other churches shared it, and so that created a lot of exposure as to what we're doing.
Yeah. And what are some other things? How can we pray for the staff, for you, for, the participants, or any other ways we can get involved even beyond the food pantry?
Yeah. I think definitely prayer support would be great, because, another thing that we're trying to do is reach out to try and call as many of the participants that we have. We've been doing like yesterday, one of our staff members did like Facebook Live with our Women of Hope group, and just to, get prayer requests and spend some time praying. And but this is all like, like many of us, a lot of it's new territory. We're trying to connect with people in a different way. We're trying to sort through what phone numbers work, what ones are out of service. We really want to make sure that we know that people know that we're still here and we can still help. So along with all that, I think there just comes, a stress and anxiety of trying to feel like this burden of like, we have become even more of a critical place. And, how do we do this? How do we still meet the needs? So just trying to give us wisdom, praying that we can have the resources we need. We had to push our largest fundraiser. Our Hearts of Hope dinner is usually at the end of April, and we have to push that all the way to October. So, the financial resources are not going to be the same as what we projected. So just praying for all that stuff that's up in the air, I think would be really helpful.
What's the easiest way for people to give financially to New Hope right now?
Going on a website. We have the donate page on our website, so you can make a donation online. Probably the quickest and easiest way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, great. Well, hey, thanks, man. I appreciate you talking. Hope things, it's not going to, I was going to say, hope things get less crazy. That's not going to happen for a while. But we'll be praying for you for sure. And thanks for just taking some time to chat for a little while. I know you got other things coming up today, and hey, neither of us got interrupted by kids. So
I heard my daughter walking down the stairs within like 5 minutes of starting, but I guess she thought better of it. So
she's like, nah, it's not the time. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Well, cool. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. And have a good rest of your day.
All right. Good to talk, and hang in there.
See ya. No problem. All right. We'll see you later.
All right. Bye.
All right, well, that was it. We're going to put some links in the description here so that you guys can follow up. One of them is especially, please, if you can, support New Hope during this time financially. Go make a donation to their site and help them in whatever other ways we can. All right, that's it for today. Thanks very much for watching. Don't forget, it does help if you like, subscribe, do those things, share the video. It just helps with the algorithms and stuff like that. So if you want to do that, appreciate it. And thanks a lot, and look forward to seeing you next time.